And again, a big thanks to Vishal Kapoor from NVIDIA and our People Plus AI. You're going to hear something nice there as well. Who's going to share the stage with me, and hopefully our job is to excite you on the collaboration that we're doing together. So just definitely looking forward to that. And I'd encourage all of you to go visit all the demos, the booths. We're going to be around the whole day. Happy to get connected. My name is Mohan Srinivasan. I run the Center of Excellence for Cloud for Japan and Asia Pacific. Team of technical people, so one among you, although I don't do as much hands-on as I would like to do nowadays. But let's just talk about a few things that we're building with Oracle. Right? Again, no surprise, GenAI is the buzzword. How many of you are actually dabbling with GenAI or doing GenAI projects? Cool. How many of you would like to dabble with GenAI or want to do GenAI projects? And hopefully 2 hands raised all the time. Excellent. How many of you use a lot of open source? Great. Oracle? Please put your hands up. All right, cool. So I think let's really talk about what's happening that Oracle is doing for GenAI. You saw the stats there. Huge number of GitHub projects, whether it's on LLM capabilities, it's about the leaderboards, you name it. All the different models, whether it's models that are built by large companies or the open source models. Some phenomenal stuff happening here, right? And this is just the beginning. Now, what's Oracle's mission? Our job is to empower you with the best platform, the best tools, the best technologies, so that you can go out and build the most imaginative apps that can not just impact your companies, but entire societies as well. And that's really the shift that we're seeing in GenAI today, right? So where do we begin? Our fundamental approach is at 3 layers. Right? First and foremost, and you probably know this, GenAI really needs a very, very strong and robust infrastructure foundation. Okay? Which means the GPUs, the networking, the compute, the storage. Without it, you're not going to have the impact that you'd like GenAI to be. Of course, there's lots of optimizations coming, and we'll be doing a lot of that, but fundamentally, you need a very, very strong infrastructure foundation. Next, you need data. Not just GenAI, AI itself is all about data quality. Okay? Yes, you have lots of data, quantity is important, but quality is even more important. So we'll talk about that. And finally, to the developer community, what do you need? And again, different needs for different people. If you're really hardcore, you want to build your own LLMs, you need to have a good computing infrastructure, you need to have the right tooling, you should be able to have tooling that will help you fine-tune or train the models. But if you're, let's say, quick UI UX developer and you want to rapidly enable your customers on GenAI, you should be able to have the ability to quickly take services, wire them up, and release an app in literally days. Okay? And most importantly, you need a good partner ecosystem, the likes of what we have with NVIDIA, with all our ISV partners, with our collaborators like People AI, and that is what builds that richness that this whole paradigm shift needs at the moment. Okay? So let's talk about the developer ecosystem. And hopefully you've been following Oracle here, but OCI today has one of the best foundations for what you need for a developer to go out and get started very, very quickly. Right? Be it open source, be it the Oracle technologies, you need all the services like the DevOps services. More importantly, when you're building GenAI applications, you need to have integrations, right? With messaging services, with core backend services, with business applications, all of that bring together a very, very strong GenAI application. You then need to have, and you're running this on cloud, right? So you need to have all the metrics, the observability, so that you know what needs to happen. Suddenly you need to go out and provision some more infrastructure. You need to set the right threshold so that auto scaling can happen, and all of that can happen. And most importantly, and this is very, very fundamental to us at Oracle, not just today, but the day we began our life as a company. We started off as a CIA project, the Oracle database. So security is so fundamental to us, and that hasn't changed with OCI. Security is baked in, right? So these are some of the big tenets. Now, obviously, there's been dramatic changes in the development world. So what Oracle has has been doing is always something that we focused a lot for developers, which is to give you choice. Right? And what does the choice entail? Choice entails whatever application development tools that you're using, whatever frameworks that you're using, or you have a whole set of applications and tools that Oracle provides so that you can get quick started or jump started quickly. Yeah. So let's talk about what Oracle does. And Oracle Apex or Application Express is a low-code, no-code tool that literally helps you and go out and develop applications in hours. And I'm not kidding, Apex has been around for a while. I'm sure there's quite a few Apex developers out here. And I'll show my age. I started off with SQL and PL SQL, right? And I love it. So age is not a barrier, let me tell you that. Okay? But Apex gives you the ability not just to build low-code, no-code, but also start integrating all of the GenAI capabilities. And we'll walk through some of them. Yeah? And literally, Apex has got tens and thousands of applications that are running worldwide. Within Oracle, it's just spread like wildfire. Everybody starts up with an Apex tool. Talk about shadow IT. There's a shadow person building an application every day using Apex. Yeah. And that's the power of Apex. It puts the power back in the developer's hands. Yeah. And gives you everything that you need to go out and literally go out and build some very, very powerful applications. Now, the other thing is open source. And typically people, I would think, don't give us enough credit for what we've done with open source. Right? I genuinely believe it. We're the biggest contributors to the Linux kernel. We've done some phenomenal work on open source technologies across, whether it's big data, whether it's the data management, MySQL or MySQL, depending on how you want to pronounce it, is an Oracle, a big contribution to the open source community. And we've got some phenomenally exciting stuff with MySQL as well. So the same goes for GenAI. We're watching very, very closely on all the different open source projects that are part of the GenAI gravy train. LangChain is one. I think a lot of you are probably using it or have watched where it's going. But it's just one of many, and that's something that we're looking very closely on how we can make life easier for all of you by providing the capability for you to integrate all these frameworks very, very quickly. So open source or Oracle or hybrid, choice is yours. You're going to run it on a very, very robust platform, which is the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI in short. And secondly, so we talked about the developer tools, the choices that developers have. What are we then doing? So we also want to make sure that everything does not have to be built from scratch. What that means is provide you with a list of AI services around vision, around speech, around conversational AI, so on and so forth, which are again a combination of both Oracle technologies as well as open source technologies. So we have support for Llama, for example, Whisper. These are all very, very popular frameworks out there which are open source. In addition to the capabilities that we have built in around language, around voice, around speech, around document AI, and we've got a whole partner ecosystem that's also providing excellent value by using the core services to build very, very rich apps around that. And especially in a country like India, language is so important. Voice is so important, right? So you can mix and match. You can use a service that Oracle has around speech or language that uses the languages that are supported by OCI speech or language, and you can integrate it with something like Bashki, so that you have the best of both worlds. Right? And you can see a demo. We've got a demo of how we do Bashki integration as well. So feel free to drop into the demo boards and take a look at it. And that's all your imagination. And the good part of it is anything that we run today, we run it on either bare metal, which gives you extremely high throughput and low latency, or on our managed Kubernetes service, which is OKE for short. So all our AI services and most of our other services are powered by OKE. And Kubernetes, as you know, it's better left for somebody else to manage it than yourself. Okay? Unless you want to really inflict pain on yourself and manage Kubernetes. Yeah? But I leave the choice to you as well. And we've got several customers. I'm I mean, we're doing some very cool things with IFCO, right? And IFCO is looking at drones so that they can look at how they can help farmers look at increasing their productivity, increasing what they do with crops. So they fly drones across the fields. Obviously, the images come back, video analysis is done, or the input goes back to farmers, and that's something that is we're very, very proud of, because I think it goes to the core of what India is, right? How do we help the whole population scale with AI? And Bosch, for example, uses our conversational AI agent or a digital assistant, and they use it to go out for customer service applications where you don't need human interaction. If the conversational AI is able to sort out in a very empathetic manner to customer complaints and then provide the right responses, it's much more easier. And Bosch has found that by reducing the amount of time it takes for human intervention by 50%. And they get more than 3,000. The advantage with Oracle GenAI is very important. Again, we talk about security, which means